Hi, I'm Danielle from Journey of a Brave, and my thing is braiding stories, braiding ideas, braiding words, and also visual imagery. Today I want to talk to you about one of the books that I think aligned me with my purpose. It's Women Who Roam with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estés. It's an incredible book, and I think that in times like the ones that we're living in, where the rights of women are being threatened across the world, it's extremely relevant. I believe it was written in the 80s. Clarissa Pinkola, I'm not sure if she was born in Mexico, but most of her life she has lived in the United States, and part of her family is Mexican for sure. The thing about this book is that it brings about different stories, the stories that we've been raised with, and sort of demystifies them and makes you realize how all of these stories have molded our perception of femininity. And by doing so, they brought us away from our purpose, from our strength, from our power. It has separated us from all of that. And she uses different examples, like for example, La Llorona, the red shoes, blue beard, the little match girl. And by using these examples, she goes deeper into what the different ways in which they frame masculinity and femininity, obviously, always making women feel less. So it's one of those stories that makes you feel part of something bigger, that makes you realize how as women, we are united like a pack of wolves, you know, like there's this element of having this unity from our fierceness, from the depths of what makes us powerful, and how it's all about honoring that part of us, the untamed part of us. They always talk about the baños de luna, bain de nuit, when you would basically be outside naked in the wilderness between women and just dance. And that was this kind of ritual that was very popular even in the Victorian times. Like, there's a lot of stories about women doing this, and eventually they started burning women for that, and the Inquisition began, and anyway, any source of power was recognized as something evil. And I've experienced myself the strength of community. That's something that I do. And I think that my braiding circles are very much inspired by having read this book and many others, because it's all about showing the thread, this invisible thread that braids us together. It talks about the body, how the body always remembers all the things that we get stuck inside our bodies and how to let it out. It talks about all the deaths that a woman goes through. So she talks about this beautiful way of making it visual by thinking about your life and then writing, like you write all the years you've lived. So for me, 1985, 1986, 1987. And then based on these years, you write all the times that you have died inside, or that a part of you has died, and you mark it with a cross, just like they do on the roads in Mexico, or I mean everywhere in the world, but in Mexico it's very visible, and throughout Latin America, wherever someone dies, it's a reminder that someone died there. And that by making yourself aware of the moments where a part of you has died, you're able to heal it and to make it present in a different way, and to retell the story of what that internal death meant for the bigger context of your life. It talks about loneliness, it talks about understanding how relevant your relationship with yourself is. It talks about happiness, but like the real happiness, reduced of seduction. And it talks about passion, the importance of living a passionate life where you're feeling fulfilled. For example, listen to this. When a woman is too long gone from home, she's less and less able to propel herself forward in life. Instead of pulling in the harness of her choice, she's dangling from one. So anyway, it's a reminder to not stick to routine, to not stick to the roles that other people have thrown upon you, and to realize your internal power and manifest it through your relationship with yourself, and then the way you express your relationship, especially with other women, which has been something that has become very complicated given the media and how they've framed those relationships. So it's Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype. It's a life-changing book. Please read it, share it, especially if you're a mother of girls. I can't even imagine what that must be like. I'm only a mother of boys. If you have friends that you really care for, like, this is for everyone. It's not a long read, and it will change your understanding on womanhood. Thank you for joining me, and let me know if you happen to read this book or if you've read it in the past in the comments below. Thank you. I'm Danielle from Journey of a Brave.